Hello, Todd Clemens, Okeechobee Livestock Market, and here's your weekly market report. Numbers were off a little bit this week. I think for the first week this year, we're way ahead of what we were last year. Don't really know why, but numbers have been extremely good, not only here but across the whole state. But they did fall off this week with, I think, 850 some odd head for Monday and Tuesday about 1350. Still a pretty good run. And prices showed a little bit of improvement there on the calf market side. Cows and bulls were fairly steady, but the front end calves, definitely you could see an increase in demand for the front end calves, 5 and 6 weight calves. On the market report, I was looking there, and we have a few categories of steers. On the number one steers there, from 5 to 550 with a weighted average of 522. With a net average price of 146.73, and then on the 550 to 590 weight category with a net average weight of 574 at 141.42. So it's coming back. We've been there before earlier this year, and then things fell off, and we're working our way back to the level, the high level for the year, it seems to be. And reading some of the things that's happening around the world, and it is a global market. Everything that happens here, believe it or not, I mean, it's what China's doing, and Australia, or the cargo ships hanging off the port that can't be unloaded. A lot of those things are going on. The packers can't get all the processed, the steers and all out of the feedlots. Everything's backlogged. So all that infrastructure has definitely an effect on our market here in Okeechobee, Florida. But for instance, we read an article here about China buying more meat, importing more meat from the United States rather than Australia. Australia was a big exporter of meat to China, and this kind of goes back to the COVID back last year when the U.S. and Australia and a lot of people were coming down hard on China about the coronavirus and where it came from, and saying we weren't going to do business with you unless you tell us where the COVID came from and things like that. So anyway, China got ticked off at Australia and said, well, we're just not going to buy any meat from you anymore. And so demand for U.S. beef really picked up. I mean, and exports from our country to China really improved. So that has something to do with that. I know price of meat here is extremely high, but China's coming in and buying a lot of it. So on the back end, that's good for the packers. They're still making $800 a head on every one they process. It's good for them, but eventually, sooner or later, this supply is going to run out. And it was evident the first of this week that packers came out there, they needed supply, they were aggressive in the cash trade, and guess what happened? Prices rose because of demand and because of competition. And that's why we need to have a certain amount of trade cash negotiated. The bills, Chuck Grassley's bill with the 50-14 rule, that's still out there and in play. We hope something like that happens because it increases demand and competition, and it's good for the producers. So something may happen here. And anyway, but we did see an increase in prices locally. Calves, 5 to 6 weight calves, were $3 to $5 higher on the front end calves, and we have a lot of number 2s and a lot of number 3 calves that are a good 10 or 12 cents below. The number 2s are 10 to 12 cents below the number 1s. The number 3s are 10 to 12 cents behind the number 2s. So depending on what you're selling, you can't just bring a 500-pound calf in here and expect him to bring what a number 1 steer calf brings if he's not number 1 quality. And when they come in the ring, the buyers, in a matter of seconds, about the time he hits the scale ring right there, they can look at him in 2 seconds and have him classed as a number 1 or 2. They know how much he weighs, and they know how much they can give for that animal, and they're professionals at what they do. And there's enough buyers here to set the competition, and they're going to bring what what they bring. So when we give you a market report and tell you that prices are $3 to $5 higher or $3 to $5 lower, whatever, and we say that's on a front end number one calf, that's on that class. And so whatever the market trend is on a number one, that same trend will be on a number two or a number three calf. The whole market is affected. So it just gives you an idea of the direction of the market. If you're holding on to cattle, you've got your calves and they're about ready to come to the market, and you've got grass, the cow's in good shape, you don't necessarily have to sell them that week, and you listen to the market report, you read the market report, and you try to find out what the trend is. Should I hold them or should I go ahead and sell them? And that's kind of why we give you information, so you can make a good decision on when you need to sell your cattle. And things are looking a little bit better, and we talked about the fourth quarter of this year being a little bit better, and it started out looking a little better. So even into next year, if you can hold your calves towards the end of the year, that might be what I would do. If you have grass and we haven't had frost and conditions are good, put a little bit more weight on them and see what happens. It may work out all right for you there. So we had a good run, and it's busy around here in October because every Friday this month we have bull sales, and this week Deer Valley Farms will have the Angus bull sale, and the sale starts at 1 o'clock. That's here at Okeechobee Livestock Market, and if you're in the need of an Angus bull, they're about as good as you'll find anywhere in the country. Deer Valley Farms, they've been coming down here for several years now, and we've gotten along real good with their bulls, and you'll like them if you get one of them. But that's this Friday here. And then next Friday will be the Little Creek Farm and Friends Brangus bull sale. That's next Friday, and then the sale after that would be the Charolais bull sale, and then multi-breed bull sale would be the last sale of the year. But we'll keep you posted on that. But come see us Friday if you need an Angus bull. And on the high prices for the week, we had some old longtime customers and friends. Dr. Jim Harvey of Okeechobee. Jim Harvey topped the calf market. I tell you, Jim, he was tough. I remember when I saw his name as the high price back in high school. He was not very big, but he was a good football player, and he was a linebacker for the Okeechobee Brahmins, and he was tough as nails. I tell you, that guy could really hit. He could play football, and what a competitor he was. He topped the calf market with a 205-pound calf that brought $2.40, and that calf was bought by Enterprise in Alabama. On the high cow price, Rollins Ranch from right up here in Kenansville, up there around Yeehaw Junction, big outfit. They've done a lot of business with us over the years, and they had some pretty nice looked like two-year-old heifers that didn't get bred back, and they were big and fat and in really good shape. And one of them brought 70 cents. It weighed 10.85, bought by Brown Packing. And that's your market report. Thank you.